Hey there, it's the Machine of Nonsense, episode 160 for you, and we're talking March. It is the end of February, and we are talking what's coming up in March. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hey, hey.
And because it's a what's coming up episode, we've got Mike.
Yep, I'm here. Here I am.
Here he is. Adding things to the list at the last minute, as he is.
Yeah, my specialty.
That's his specialty, everyone. You won't guess which one he added. 3. I think, technically, I think you added 3 to the list. So, a surprisingly beefy list in March.
You missed one thing, like 2 of the things I'm like, that's okay. There was a lot of stuff, but one of them you left it up. Were you trying to hurt me?
I think so. Yes. I think I did it purposely.
Okay.
I thought
making sure you're paying attention. We want to keep you engaged.
Ooh, man, she's so smart. Yep, that's what it was. Was. I'm playing 5D chess, That's what I'm doing. March. But before we get to March, we saw American Fiction, Kayla.
We did. We'll
be talking about it a little more probably in depth in our upcoming Oscars episode, but what'd you think? What'd you think of American Fiction?
It had a lot going on. A lot more. There's a lot more layers and a lot more like character dives that you do than what the trailer leads on. Like you think it's gonna be about just like him being silly and being as I don't even want to say it as. Yeah, I can't even say it. I can't even, You think he's just going to be like...
Gotcha.
Well, no, he's just being stereotypical black. That's what he, is selling. But he's, not that. And obviously, that's not a thing. And just, it really dives into all of that. And it has to do with, him and his relationship with his mom and his brothers and his dad. There's a lot. That you're just like, oh, I thought this movie was going to be kind of a little dive into our culture, but it is that as well as that person's still a person. It was interesting. I liked it.
Yeah, good. Couldn't say it better myself. There's a lot of characters like Sterling K. Brown's his brother is probably in the best shape ever, like a human's ever been. I don't know,
for Sterling.
I think he he grew too. He expanded.
Yeah, he plays a very interesting character. But yeah, he plays Jeffrey Wright's brother in the movie. But yeah, it goes deep into his family, some relationships, and who he is as a person. In ways that I don't think either of us went into it thinking. I saw the trailers and it's like, struggling writer wants to kind of make it big or whatever else, and on a lark writes a very stereotypical a book from the perspective of an ex-con kind of and blows up and
wanted.
Yeah. And they could that's done well. It's a pretty funny movie. I thought it was quite funny, but there's just a lot, maybe too many ideas.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I still recommend it.
Probably would have been a better show. They do so much with the little time that they have that you're like, wait, let's go back to that. I want to. The fuck.
Yeah, kind of breezy, too. I don't remember how long it was, but it didn't feel like it was a very long movie compared to a lot of the...
Well, I guess that's good when something leaves you wanting more. That's the right spot to be in.
Yeah, I'd say so. Man, was there anything
Is
else?
that all? Is that all the Best Picture nominees for you guys now?
We still have 2 more. We got Anatomy of a Fall, and we have Zone of Interest.
Oh, man, you're just... And those are
yeah,
the lead actresses in both, I believe. So that's funny.
Yeah, we'll get to those sometime between now and our Oscars episode. But
I've already told Selena, Zone of Interest is probably going to have to be a solo for me. I'm not going to make you. Though I'm pretty excited for that one. It seems interesting.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do Anatomy of the Fall soon, though. She's kind of into that one. So
I'm kind of excited for that one.
me too.
I might enjoy that one. Did we talk about past lives at all? That we saw that one?
I don't think that we have.
Yeah. Not to spoil too much of the Oscars episode, but that was good. I just really liked that movie, and I thought like it was getting a lot of praise going into it for like its depiction of adult relationships and stuff like that, and I just think it's a good, like, I don't even know a romance movie? Would you? I guess it's a romantic movie, Kayla. What would you call that movie?
There's a romantic love involved, but multiple romantic loves, let's say. It's a very. Have you watched it, Mike?
We watched half of it, and
it's pretty
we
quiet.
fell asleep, and then we didn't get around to watching it the next night.
Yeah.
So our rental was over.
Yeah.
It wraps up real nice if you get a chance to
does.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch all of them. I think, except maybe I don't know. Is Killers really good? Is Killers of the Flower Moon really good?
It's good.
Kayla, what'd you say? Yeah,
it's good. I liked it.
I loved Robert De Niro's performance. I would say
it's just so long.
It's so long. It is. And it's kind of quiet too in many parts of it. Like past lives, I wanted to say that it's got such a there's not a lot of dialogue, there's not a lot of noise really at all. It's just like kind of real looking inward like vibe, getting through, just like moving on with things in your life that you can't change. And
very little really conflict almost, like
it's
an interesting movie in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Much more. I think
Killers of the Flower Moon has a bit on both ends, so it's a bit extreme at times.
Yeah, that's much more conflict, much more violence.
All conflict. You would watch it. I think you should watch it.
I think despite it being long, like I would argue that from like an action standpoint or whatever else, it's like the same length as Oppenheimer, but more is occurring on screen, let's say, for me, like if there's more to like catch your eye and like for me at least. So
gotcha.
Yeah. Oscar movies. I think that's all we've really been checking out lately, right? Anything else? We've talked about you playing Ragnarok. Real excited for
Bad
Final
Batch.
Fantasy.
We started Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch is back at three episode premiere.
Batch.
Yeah, final season. They're gonna wrap it up.
Cool.
It seems like it's gonna explain the Emperor. Like how somehow the Emperor came back in that like last movie. So let's see if they land that plane. But yeah, Bad Batch is just consistently good. It's a good time. I like it. There's the one negative is it's definitely a show like appropriate for kids, which isn't a bad thing in and of itself. But like they go out of their way to anytime like they're shooting a person, they turn on stun, and it's very noticeable. Like they'll shoot the shit out of a robot and like that kind of stuff. But like if it's a stormtrooper, they're putting it on the old stun, and it's like, okay, I get it. It's very similar to something
not
I think
killers.
No, yeah, I get.
Just trying to survive.
It reminds me of the old X-Men cartoon, which might come up in this discussion. But a lot of those Saturday morning cartoons had a similar.
That's what I love about Bad Batch is it is just such a Saturday, like just such a cartoon.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love having one of those around. It's good. I need a new one of those because the kids just keep recycling the same 5 great ones over and over again. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have a new one. Hopefully hopefully the kids dig it pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about it.
About it. Well, unless Mike has been up to anything, I guess we should ask you.
We should probably ask you.
Finished my first run in Balatro last night.
Nice.
Wow.
Was just running flushes like nobody's business. Like 85% of my deck was one suit, and it was great. It was really easy to win.
Sometimes it all happens.
Yeah, and that was exciting. Unlocked a bunch of new stuff when that happened. Still playing that a lot. Think I have like 1.5 episodes left of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Great show. Just complete, like, the way they flip the whole kind of plot of the show is really great. You think it's going to be something similar to the movie, the Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, where they're spies, but they don't even know that they're spies or something. This is where the two leads get partnered together, and they know that they have to sign an agreement to marry somebody and to go out on missions together as a team. And it's really funny. It's got like a pretty decent action in it, surprisingly. And it starring Donald Glover and Maya Erskine. Yeah. From Pen 15. She's great. This was supposed to be Phoebe Waller-Bridge in her role in this originally, which I still think would have been the best thing ever in the world to have Donald Glover with her. Yeah. But Maya's great. The chemistry with those two is really good. And every episode is just some kind of neat setup for like it having the relationship stuff with the cool spy mission stuff. It's really cool and clever and great. Every episode has like a cool stunt cast, like cameo.
Ooh.
All of those have been really great so far.
Do you think it has staying power? Like we'll get multiple seasons kind of thing?
I think I have to see how it ends. Because it's definitely kind of leaning towards something, and then we'll see. But I highly recommend. That's on Prime. And, check it out for sure. Other than that, I don't. Probably it for me.
Yeah, hasn't been long since we last recorded together. Maya Erskine, she did the voice of Blue-Eyed Samurai, which was
awesome.
I saw it very late in 2023, but had I seen it, I think early in the year, I probably would have nominated it in maybe several categories for the Naughties, because that's a cool ass show. So people check that out. Check out March. Let's do it. March 2024.
Very nice. Very nice.
Silly smart weather. Dune. We're getting Dune 2. Day 1 of March. March 1st. Dune 2 is in theaters after how many years since the first one? It feels like forever. It was the before times, I think.
At least 3 years, right?
Yeah.
2021, I want to. Maybe even
it was that long ago.
It was because it was supposed to come out like earlier, or at least like it was thought that it was going to be closer together. I think it's been like not 4 years, but like 3 years. I feel like. I think you're right. Maybe 2021.
Theaters were like kind of open, right? That.
Right. And it went to like max pretty early, I think I remember. Like
day
pretty
one.
Quickly. Oh, was it day 1? Oh.
Yeah, that's how I watched it.
Oh, nice.
I got off my 12-hour shift that day
and watched a 12-hour movie. Yeah.
I couldn't make it to your. You guys saw it for your birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It literally came out on my birthday in 2021.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. But
so like 2.5, 3-ish years, right?
Right. Yeah. October. I'm like over the moon excited for this one. I don't know when we're gonna be able to watch it this weekend. We got a little bit of a busy weekend coming up, but I really don't want to be like spoiled on it. That's the one thing. Like I feel like shit's gonna go down. it feels like in the run up to it, they've hinted that this is not going to like finish the story, maybe. That it might be like more of a trilogy. I know there's like 5 books in like the Dune saga or whatever else, but I feel like a lot of people went into the first movie thinking that it was going to be the whole story, and then they said like no, it's Dune like part 1 and part 2, and then it feels like they've lately been hedging and saying like part 2 of maybe more kind of thing. I feel like that's.
I think Villeneuve's been like reported like, yeah, I want to make 3, but not right away, kind of thing. He wants it to simmer. So
interesting.
That to me seems like, I think like the other books are kind of side-ish. Really, I think it's the first 2 parts that are the real like Atreides kind of story. I could be.
I think there's
wrong.
a lot of time that goes between all of the books. Like, right? Isn't that
different generations, kind of?
Sure.
Yeah,
right.
I think you're right. Like, there's maybe Paul Atreides' kids or something are in the
right. Villeneuve is going to pass the baton to Linklater, and he's going to wait like 30 years and get Chalamet and Zendaya.
I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff.
But that movie, the hype is fucking off the charts. It's like not Barbenheimer level, but it's up there. I see a lot of people talking about it. I saw something that's like the highest rated movie on IMDb ever, and then someone said, "Oh, great, it got a 7.9 or something," because it's just a wasteland of reviews on stuff like that. But bring it on. I don't know how I'm going to see it either. I hope Selena will say like, "I'm taking the kids to go to the Y to swim" or something. And that'll at least give me half of the time to watch this 3-hour movie. But
how many times are we going to hear Duncan, Idaho in this movie?
In this one,
yeah.
I maybe it's got to be. I think the over/under is 1.5, and I'm going to go under. I think once.
Okay. I'll take the over. I'll take the over on Duncan, Idaho utterances in Dune Part 2. Kayla?
Loser has to dress up as Polka Dot Man but his version in Dune 1, his character in Dune 1 at C2E2. That's
I love it. Do we have to do the like weird throat singing? Isn't he like doing like the throat singing thing?
You have to do everything that he does.
Okay, I dig it.
And I say you because you're going to lose. But anyway,
yes. David Dashmalkin, I believe, is that gentleman.
Terrific name.
Yeah, good. Perfect name, like for the face for the guy.
Dash Malkovich.
Dune Part 2 coming to theaters March 1st. Coming to your video game consoles and your PC. The Outlast Trials, March 5th. You've played Outlast, right, Mike? I feel like you mentioned it before.
The spooky game?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
No, okay. This, I don't quite understand what the gameplay is in this. It's very like, the trailers have been very Saw-esque, like people being like kind of observed in these awful kind of scenarios, horror scenarios, being chased by freaks, weird freaks. It kind of seems like
hero-esque characters, like from like a fucking League of Legends or something. Like they're all like very specific horror tropes, like hero and villains, I guess you call
it. Makes me feel like it's maybe like a asymmetrical kind of thing, like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type game or something, maybe.
I saw a survival game. Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, what is this thing?
Good. I'm glad none of us know.
Yeah, I think it is like a Dead by Daylight like.
It's definitely a game I probably won't play, but I find the trailers actually like really intriguing. Like the setup and the creepiness of the monsters and stuff. And there's like a line near the end of the trailer where the observer, whoever's observing this craziness, is like something to the effect of like I've learned one thing about suffering, like what is it?
The
Suffering and
limits
fear.
of pain and and fear.
And he's just like, there aren't any and stuff. That's a cool line. It's just like, oh, okay, cool.
It's creepy. The one guy, like the weird like police guard guy with the stun baton. Oh, what was his line? Oh, that I was gonna say it. Blanking on it, but it was very funny. Go watch the trailer and laugh as I did at the dumb line.
Oh, yep. Go watch the trailer for the Outlast Trials coming March 5th to PC, PS4 and 5, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. The Gentleman coming to Netflix March 7th. This is I don't know if it's like a sequel or just an offshoot of the movie of the same name by Guy Ritchie. This is a Guy Ritchie series, to the best of my knowledge, his first ever television series. I know him for his movies. The movie The Gentleman has like Charlie Hunnam and Hugh Grant.
A lot of glasses in that movie.
Yeah,
right?
it's actually I like Guy Ritchie movies. I've kind of enjoyed pretty much every Guy Ritchie movie to some extent, and I think I've seen them all at this point, except the Jake Gyllenhaal one about Iraq or whatever that came out like a year ago. But anyway, I digress. The movie's
Jarhead 2?
Yes, Jarhead 2 by Guy Ritchie. It was a departure. Interesting like choice for a series, I think. He makes one type of movie, English Gangsters, and also two types of movies because Jake Gyllenhaal in Iraq is his other type of movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just looks like a fun romp in like the British underground. Very much. I feel like if you like Guy Ritchie, you're gonna probably dig this, and if you don't, steer clear. The Gentleman. What'd you think, Mike?
He didn't direct any of those Kingsman movies, right?
He didn't, but it's as if he did,
this
right?
His answer to that, then, because it's really the same fish out of water, like, but except I'm going to start my own Kingsman. He gets his own little Ritchie spin on it there. The main actor, I don't know his name, but he was pretty good in White Lotus season 2. It's one of those moments like, you're British when I watch this, because he was like just a tech bro, American tech bro in White Lotus. So
how do they do it? How do those Brits
I know.
do it? Jesus.
Don't ask me.
It's incredible. It's honestly incredible. The Gentleman coming to Netflix March 7th. I think this might be one that I just check out on my own, because I think there's a high probability that I'll dig this one. I don't know. I eat up those
I would like it.
movies. Well, great. Then I don't have to do it alone. This is great.
I mean, it's got all the scene, the shooting at birds with old school weaponry and foggy pond shot,
Vinnie Jones, who's in every single Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I didn't know any of the rest of the cast, but old Vinnie Jones, Ray Winstone as well. I know that guy. Will come up again in just a moment, actually.
Wow.
Unicorn Overlord the next day on March 8th. This is coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Switch. Guys, it's coming to Switch. This is a interesting tactical RPG that has a really cool art style. I put it on the list because I drafted it in the 2024 video game draft. I'm a little concerned with this one. I don't feel like it's got a ton of buzz, but it doesn't feel like people are like, man, Unicorn Overlord. I'm really excited for this one, especially with so many, like, I think it could get completely eaten by Final Fantasy VII coming out, like, right at the end, like within a week. I think that's probably going to be the only video game people are going to be talking about for, I would say, over a week. Well,
this is a Vanillaware game. They made like Dragon's Crown. Man, so many. Muramasa, I think, was another one on Wii that they did. There's other PS2 ones that I'm blanking on, but they have like a cult following kind of thing, that studio, and I noticed they're teaming up with Atlas on this somehow. Looks really gorgeous. They've kind of gone away from at least from what I've seen. I downloaded the demo on Switch, by the way. And,
did you? Nice.
Didn't get very far in it because there's a lot of talkie at the beginning of it. But it seems like they've gotten away from that. Dragon's Crown had this really weird, like, super thin waist, like the Oda, the creator of One Piece, would blush at the size of these women's busts. It was kind of weird, and it seems like the character models and things are more normal for this
reasonable
one. Gorgeous art though, like.
I love how it looks, and it seems like it's got so many different like systems. Like you're getting into like these turn-based battles, but then there's also like a strategic aspect to it, like an overworld where you're moving around units. It's like a wild mix of things, it seems, in this gorgeous art style. So I don't know. I hope it does well, and I hope it's worth getting. I've been wanting like a tactics game for a while, and I don't know. Maybe this is the one. I've just skipped all of the ones that have come out, Midnight Suns and
Diofield Chronicles.
Yeah. There's been some good releases, and I just haven't even picked them up. But
Disgaea 14. I mean,
gotta grind. Is that Tomas? Unicorn Overlord coming to everything March 8th. Kung Fu Panda 4. I am very surprised, coming to theaters March 8th. Was not aware that there's been 4 of these, but they always look cool. Have you seen any of them, Mike? Do the kids like them?
The kids do like them. Okay. I have avoided this franchise though. You could tell that this probably isn't their upper echelon favorite kind of movie franchise, because there's no way I would have escaped it if that was the case. But I know they do like them. They were very surprised to find out that there was a 4th one coming out. And God, remember when you were a kid, guys, and it didn't matter. You just wanted the number to get as high as it could. Like I would have watched TMNT 14. Like I would have gotten that far if they would have kept cranking them out that fast. But yeah, I don't know. I want my Jack Black and other stuff. Aquafina's in this one, and I love her. But I don't know. Do you guys like these, Kayla? Do you like these movies?
I've never seen them either.
Yeah,
I've never seen them.
First game I ever played on my 360 was Kung Fu Panda, because it was it was the bundle game. So that is my knowledge.
I like Jack Black. I think the animation looks cool, and I like Kung Fu. So I really should have checked these movies out way before now, but I don't know. First time for everything, right? They've got to be on something now. They're probably all on Netflix or something. Have to check.
Yeah, I think you could see like Kung Fu Panda 2 on this, Kung Fu Panda 1 on another thing. I think they're probably split up or something. But
Blu-ray box set. I'll get them. Kung Fu Panda 4 coming to theaters March 8th. Coming to Prime, we've got Roadhouse, the remake, coming March 8th. Jake Gyllenhaal getting absolutely shredded for this one. He's not the same character as Patrick
believe
Swayze, is
he is. Yes, the same character name, I believe.
Oh, Dalton,
I heard it.
Right? Is that his name? Yeah, okay. See, I didn't catch that, but like I was trying to explain Roadhouse, a movie that I haven't seen, but I've heard for the last like 36 years of my life. I've heard a lot about Roadhouse.
Roadhouse is great.
Oh,
Watch Roadhouse.
You're a Roadhouse fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. That's why I added it.
Okay. So now, in the original Roadhouse, correct me if I'm wrong, he's just like a bouncer who's like world renowned for being a bouncer, right? He wasn't like a boxer or an MMA guy or anything like that.
Yes, Patrick Swayze is literally like, will the bouncer for hire to train your bouncers,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And he gets a gig in Florida, I want to say, and gets involved with a big bad villain guy in that part of town.
And he's
great
all about,
Sam
like,
Elliott in Roadhouse.
He's all about like killing dudes, right? Like he doesn't mind just like snapping necks and stuff, right?
There is some killing. I think Dalton's not afraid to get his hands dirty, but mostly he plays it pretty cool, like in the actual bouncing part. You know, but if he's got to fucking fuck somebody up, he does, and he's great.
Because it seems like the whole thing with Jake Gyllenhaal's version is that like he's kind of a gentle giant. He doesn't want to fight necessarily. He will, but he doesn't kind of want to, right?
He's like a disgraced MMA fighter who takes a gig. Like he's just kind of. It looks like he's doing like finding weird fight clubs and just trying to earn a living, and kind of gets mixed up. Pretty similar. Beyond that, it seems pretty similar to Roadhouse, where he gets mixed up in this, something bigger than him, and he wants to be the good guy. And it really seems like a lot of the movie's just going to be him fighting Conor McGregor over and over again. They fight in so many different locations in that
trailer. Yeah.
Yes. Like it's again, Jesus Christ. Like, holy shit. But sign me up. I got Prime. Hell yeah. I watch Buff Gyllenhaal just beat the shit out of dudes.
I thought it looked pretty good. I'm a little concerned with the McGregor of it all. Like I need him less. I
really
think
over the top and dumb. Yeah.
I love a Gyllenhaal, and the general premise is fine, but
I thought that line was pretty good, where he's like, "Don't ever let anyone get this close," and then just straight up fucking
headbutted him.
That was good.
But beyond that, he seemed just in a different kind of movie, maybe. But we'll see.
Saw a boat crash that looked really fun. So
there was a lot of stuff in the trailer.
Yeah, long trailer.
Yeah.
Roadhouse coming to Prime, March 8th. Also March 8th, coming to Netflix. At the last minute, it got in. Damsel, the Ray Winstone vehicle. As I mentioned earlier, I think he plays her father, the king. This is a Millie Bobby Brown film. Mike, you do the honors. Tell us all about Damsel.
Millie Bobby Brown is a young princess to a kingdom that must be in some kind of economic struggles, probably. Mm-hmm. She is going to marry a young prince from a prospering kingdom, I believe, and it's going to, they make it known like this is going to save our people, this marriage. And not sure who plays the young prince, but Robin Wright plays the queen of this kingdom, and it seems to be a lavish wedding on this very particular scary looking mountain. And they take like a blood oath of some kind. They cut each other's hands, and the prince is carrying the princess away off to a honeymoon of some kind or something, and he drops her down a huge chasm. And Millie Bobby Brown has been part of this generational sacrifice that has to happen, I guess, to some god or something. And then it's just Millie Bobby Brown becoming Lara Croft and escaping this weird cave system thing that she's trapped in with a fire-breathing dragon. And sign me up. Sounds good.
She's still your pick for Psycho Mantis?
Yeah, I think so.
Angela Bassett. We also get some Angela Bassett in this one. And as I was researching it, I said, man, that director sounds, that name sounds familiar. It's Juan Carlos Fresnadillo. He's from Spain. And I was like, I don't know why I know that name. I looked it up. He did 28 Weeks Later, the sequel to 28 Days Later. And I recently watched that movie.
Look at you.
Yeah. So, I don't know. He's got some action chops. That movie is like super over the top action, and this looks like a fantasy.
I think the I think the movie looks really good. It looks like it has a pretty decent budget, actually.
Mhm.
The special effects look nice. There's this cool shot where she's in the cave and she just sees all this swarm of bats fly over her and they're on fire and shit. At first, I'm like, oh shit, is this like a magical world with fire bats? But no, it was the dragon lit up all the bats.
Yeah, I wonder how much like fantastical elements there will be. I got the vibe. I was thinking it was like, oh, it's like a Alice in Wonderland type like thing. But yeah, I don't know if it's that. It might just be more fighting a dragon.
She's gonna befriend that dragon, right? Like and take on the.
Ooh, she's gonna be a dragon rider kind of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah,
I bet.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope she can keep working, Millie Bobby. I think a lot of those kids are really have been like typecast at this point from Stranger Things, and they need to break out.
I think she's done that. Netflix gives her every movie that they have for kind of the young adult kind of thing. So just by being forced out there, she's going to be at least on people's minds.
Stay away from Drake and you'll be fine, Millie. Damsel coming to Netflix March 8th. Also March 8th, apparently a very stacked day. Love Lies Bleeding coming to theaters. Very excited for this one. This is Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien. I remembered Katie O'Brien, the much more famous of the two, right? This is a dark, romantic, lesbian crime movie. Did I get all the adjectives on this one?
There's like family drama.
There is family drama.
Bodybuilding.
Good. I think that's more of a noun, right? But I've been seeing the trailer for this. When did we see this in front of a movie? Like it was got to be 4 months ago or something. It's been a while. I've seen the same trailer half dozen times at this point, and it rips every single time. Like I think this movie looks fucking awesome.
It does.
The Dave Franco also is part of this. Ed Harris is, I think, Kristen Stewart's father. I think that he's playing a father familial type character. It looks like they run guns in some way. Like he owns like a ranch gun club kind of thing where they're like maybe running guns down the border and all of the crime that comes into that. Kristen Stewart doesn't seem to like care. She's just in that life, it's family life, and then she meets this very interesting woman, bodybuilder, and seems like they fall in love, and it's going to be your classic, like, how do I get out of this life of crime type scenario. Seems violent, seems like there's like supernatural, psychedelic, I guess would be the term to use. Like there's some like weird hulking out kind of scenes in the trailer. I don't know. This just looks fucking dope, and they failed so hard not making Katie O'Brien Abby in The Last of Us. I will take that one to my grave. Yeah. She would have been the perfect. She is like she's like a bodybuilder, and she's I don't know. She's my Abby. She'll forever be my Abby. The moment I saw her and she was in season 3 of Mandalorian, I think it was. I was like, that's her, right? That's who they're gonna cast, right? And then we got Caitlin Dever. Yeah. Hopefully she'll hit the gym. Anyway, talking too much about that. Love Lies Bleeding. I'm very excited for Love Lies Bleeding. If you haven't,
gave me bones and all vibes. I enjoyed that.
Yes, Rose Glass is the director. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know her work.
I believe she wrote it as well. Yeah, I don't know if this is like first time or what.
Man, interesting looking person. What. Okay, Saint Maud. I've seen Saint Maud. Also from Rose Glass, and very interesting movie. I think I liked it. I think it's one of those. It stars Morford Clark, who played the main elf character in the Lord of the Rings, the Prime show.
Okay.
Galadriel, and she's really cool in that movie too. So yeah, I think I love Lies Bleeding that much more now that I know the director has done other cool things in the past. Exciting. Love Ed Harris. I wish he worked more.
I watched The Abyss the other day.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ed Harris rocks.
That wasn't available for a long time, right? That was
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He looks really cool. He's got long fucking white gray hair and this and shit.
Yeah, he's just he can like go between like creepy and caring so easily. Like what was that Olivia Colman Lost Daughter. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like he plays kind of like a pathetic kind of just lovelorn guy, and he's great. Anyway, Love Lies Bleeding, theaters March 8th. Go and see it. The Oscars come in March 10th, and we're going to talk about it. So stay tuned for our Oscars Best Picture episode. That's it. It's going to be on ABC, guys. Check it out. I love the Oscars. I love award shows.
Who's hosting this year?
I have no idea. Is he?
Or no, Kimmel does Emmys or something, right? Or Golden Globes or something like that.
I don't think they've announced yet. They've announced some presenters, but I don't think we know.
I think the host is out there, but
Kimmel seems like it might be Kimmel.
Oh, okay, it is Kimmel.
Yeah, unless it's Bob Hope. Is it Bob Hope? Is that what I'm seeing here? Yeah, it says Jimmy Kimmel will return to host the 2024 Oscars. I like Kimmel. He's fine. Cool.
I hope it's a good one. I love the Oscars.
It's great. Give us more montages. Give us more montages.
Yes.
Oh, they're the best. All right. Manhunt coming to Apple TV March 15th. The story of I was going to say Edgar Allan Poe. No, John Wilkes Booth, the famous assassin of Lincoln. Recently learned, and I think this show's going to touch on it, but like apparently John Wilkes Booth at the time was like George Clooney, essentially. Like he was one of the most famous actors of his like generation, and it's as if like George Clooney walked up behind Biden and just shot him in the back of the head. It was kind of that, which is pretty wild. So it's gonna it's like a limited series on Apple, detailing the murder and the conspiracy and the manhunt, if you will, of getting John Wilkes Booth. Tobias Menzies is kind of the detective, it seems, or who I don't know what he is. He seems to be like trying to figure out
colonel or something.
Oh, is he a military guy? Yeah, maybe.
Or
he looked like he's just trying to take the place of old Abe.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? He's not Abe Lincoln?
Yeah, I did that double take too.
It's pretty good.
My cosplay.
I'm pretty excited for this one because I aside from that little tidbit of that John Wilkes Booth was like a very famous actor. I don't know much about this story and everything else. I know there was like a grander conspiracy that people don't normally think of or talk about. Like there were multiple, like as he was shooting Lincoln, there were like other assassins trying to kill other members of like the parliament or whatever it was at that time.
North.
Right. Well, yeah, like other of Lincoln's, like maybe the vice president or whatever else was also like attempted. Someone tried to kill him, and so yeah, it's like a bigger story than you ever kind of hear in history books or whatever in school. So I'm interested, and Apple, man, they're good.
Did anyone stand out to you in that trailer? Like a sore thumb? Oh,
yes. Kayla audibly laughed when she saw Patton Oswalt.
Yes, Patton Oswalt plays like a Union general or something. And he just speaks in a way that does not does not lend itself to 19th century or whatever it is, America, and he's just so tiny and rotund.
No,
it just made me laugh. Him trying to like give this,
speech.
Yes,
it was quite funny. Right? Yeah, just I hear this audible like next to me when he comes on screen. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
They show him like marching, and he's like the head of all these big, tall army men. He's so tiny.
Hey man, that's my Ratatouille.
It was very funny. It was very funny.
Manhunt coming to Apple TV March 15th, starring Patton Oswalt. MLB The Show 24, my favorite game every year. March 19th, coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and Game Pass, which is great. Like the best PlayStation game every year comes to Game Pass, and not enough people talk about that. Not enough. And incredibly successful year after year. I don't think people talk about that either. It's routinely in like the top 10 best-selling games, on top of the fact that you can get it for free on game, well, free, for the Game Pass subscription. Still sells an insane amount of copies on PlayStation. I'm of the mind that they just don't need to change much. They've kind of perfected it. I know some people want big sweeping changes and stuff in their sports games, or improvements or whatever else. I just want the new roster. Just give me the new roster and I'm going to play the game. It's going to be great. Make the characters look make the players look slightly more like themselves, and I'm good. MLB The Show. I love it. Definitely.
Who's the cover this year?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Blue Jays. Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah. Big old first baseman. Kind of a
really like
weird
watching his dad play. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Vlad, his dad was amazing.
He's kind of a big name. He won the home run derby last year, right?
Yeah. He's a big power hitter and stuff. I don't know if he's like one of the stars of the game in the sense of like I don't know. You ask someone who's a baseball player.
They can't put Ohtani every year. They
they should have. But yeah, he was the athlete last year. The cover last year. They did such a cool anime like theme cover last year
on the Switch.
So good. What can I say? MLB The Show. I'm going to put in 500 hours next year, and it's going to be great. This year, whatever.
Cool.
All right. Palm Royale coming to Apple March 20th. Kayla, I want to pick your brain because we've watched this trailer now, I think, twice. Kristen Wiig, someone we both love quite a bit. What do you think of this trailer? What is this show about?
It gives me like a little bit of some like "Don't worry, darling," like something's going on beyond what we see. I don't think it'll be as crazy or as
sci-fi,
right, as "Don't worry, darling," but I do love Kristen Wiig. I don't know if this is I can't tell if this is like super fun. Obviously it's going to be funny because it's got her, but is it supposed to be a funny movie, or is it like a "Don't worry, darling"?
The series, right?
Yeah.
A series, yeah.
I think it's kind of trying to be that Desperate Housewives, Melrose Place kind of thing. Well, just kind of in the fact of it all of these people live like in an apartment complex, and then they do, there's drama and stuff between all of them. Desperate Housewives is like all these people that live on a block and do shitty things to each other.
Okay, so yeah, that's what this seems like, I guess.
And Kristen Wiig is trying to muscle her way into this kind of posh
group
condo kind of collection of like, or apartment complex kind of thing.
I think it's like a country club kind of vibe.
Yeah. It reminds me of that episode of Simpsons where Marge tries to keep reupholstering that dress into different dresses so she can impress her rich friends.
Yes.
But yeah, and she's kind of willing to do whatever it takes to stick around in the high society kind of thing. Very Saltburn vibes for me.
We gotta check that one
and,
out. Yeah, I love the cast. I think like we've mentioned Kristen Wiig, but Laura Dern, Allison Janney. It just seems like an interesting cast, and the setting, like I guess it's the 60s. And yeah, it's the 60s.
Costumes and stuff look cool.
Yeah, great hair, great costumes,
that design. Yeah. Kristen Wiig looks kind of different. I mean, she looks very Miami Beach, but very tan. Very
I think she
plastic.
just kept a lot of the Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar set and just
I want more of that
wardrobe. Well, see, I want Barb. I don't want Starbra. I want me some Barb instead, but I'll settle.
Yeah, Ricky Martin as well in this one.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of wild.
Yeah, a lot of Ricky Martin in that trailer. So he's a major player in this one.
Yeah, I'll see how this one goes. I'm interested enough. It looks like it looks well done. Like what we were saying with the costumes and everything else. It looks well done. I don't know if I understand the point or the central kind of plot, but
Mike described it. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Palm Royale, Apple TV Plus, March 20th. Same day, we're getting the Alone in the Dark remake, PC, PS5, Xbox Series. It's interesting that it's all like current gen. It's all it's not last gen at all because it doesn't necessarily look like a super polished like game, a current gen PS5 type game in its production, but I've always been really interested in the series. I know it's the precursor to survival horror. It's like before Resident Evil was Resident Evil, it was Alone in the Dark. And the cool thing with this, it seems like it's definitely leaning into old school survival horror. Two characters you choose between. Edward Carnby, played by Stranger Things guy.
David Harbour,
right. And it's Jodie Comer's the other? Or no, it's is it Jodie Comer?
I think it is, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's Jodie Comer is
you're right.
The female protagonist. Well, yeah, I needed the help there. And yeah, it seems like your puzzles, you're low on ammo, very much the vibe of like an old school Resident Evil or something. Love a good survival horror. And I've always been interested in, like, I know the Alone in the Dark games are more that like eldritch horror, the Cthulhu type stuff, which I've always wanted, more of that. Give me more Bloodborne type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I wish it looked better, I guess. That's my biggest kind of gripe
looks
with
like a 360 game for sure.
Yeah, it very much does. But as long as they like capture the the vibes of the creature design is cool and the scenarios are cool, I'm into it. I think D drafted it in the draft, I want to say. And I want to say someone counterpicked it as well. So
yeah, I wish that's the counterpick I wanted. I don't think D's gonna get some points on this one, but that's okay.
Well, that's Alone in the Dark coming to all the current gens March 20th. Last on the March 20 train is X-Men 97, the thing I left off, the thing I forgot to put on the list, coming to Disney Plus. This is the direct sequel to the X-Men cartoon of our childhood, the X-Men animated series, and it seems to take place like directly after that series ended with the death of Professor X, or the potential death, the leaving of Professor X, and this seems like it might like be the scene after kind of thing. We get a lot of from the trailer. We get a ton of kind of information about where it's going to go. Magneto seems to be taking over the mantle as like the Professor X type character, the leader type character in some way, or inheriting the mansion and everything that comes with that. They've nerfed some of the character designs in some people's opinion. But I love that cartoon. Growing up, tried to rewatch it, didn't. It kind of fell off, but I have high hopes for this. It's been in the works for years now, I feel like, right?
Been waiting a long time, very long time for this one. This was like one of those like Hall H San Diego Comic-Con things that they announced forever ago. And can't believe it's finally here. I love this show. I love the idea of just fucking picking up where that one left off. Love that they're keeping the theme song. You know, Ryan in our chat was down on the animation of it from the trailer. I think it looks pretty good, personally. Yeah. And some of the voices being different, I wish they could have just brought back the whole voice cast. But
it's tough when it's almost 30 years later. You know, a lot of them don't have the same voices. I imagine. Yeah, that's true. But excited to see what storylines they're gonna follow and where it goes. And Marvel has already teased that it has implications beyond just itself, X-Men. So okay.
We'll see. I don't know. That line, that come to me, my X-Men line from Cyclops. That was great. It was so good. It was good. Yeah. But go ahead, sorry.
No, I was going to ask Kayla if she has a favorite X-Man. I know you've only dabbled in the X-Men.
There's no wrong choice.
And the most I've dabbled has been with Wolverine, and Logan was real good, and Hugh Jackman's real good, and
Wolverine's great.
Yeah, Wolverine's pretty cool.
I feel like he's most people's favorite.
He's my most known, like I've had the most experience with, and
there's such a cool shot of Gambit riding on Wolverine's back into combat in this. Gambit's my dude. I know he's not. The character hasn't aged the best from that '90s run, but I'm sure everyone's going to be tweaked drastically, and as we've seen with Rogue, you know.
Yeah. Yes. I'm interested to see
a Lola bunnied Rogue. You know, I am going to write a letter.
I like to think of it as solid snaking. I like to think of it as solid snaking.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I always loved Magneto's portrayal in the animated series. I thought he was pretty cool. I wonder if they had to do a lot of kind of like he wasn't in the Holocaust and stuff, you know, like in the cartoon, because I don't think you could put like, you know, the Holocaust in those cartoons back in the day. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to do
that. They couldn't put in there, but titties was cool.
Well, you know, there you go. Choices were made. I wonder how I had mentioned earlier how they had to kind of like all the guns and stuff had to be laser weapons, and you know you couldn't really show violence in the way that like the X-Men are violent. Like there's violence in that world, you know.
Unless it was against a Sentinel where they rip it to shreds and stuff like that, or explode it. Yeah, but yeah, for the most, I mean, that was kids were racing home to watch that after school. Like I don't know, it was not meant for 35-year-old whatever whatever however old you are.
I hope we get like somewhere in the middle, you know, like I want to like I think one thing I really remember was Morph. Like you're supposed to like really feel, oh no, they killed Morph, but it all happens like off screen in that like first episode.
You're a real morph, Eric.
I'm a real morph.
Okay.
You know?
Almost left this off the list.
I'm just saying. X-Men 97. Morph is back, everyone. Disney Plus, March 20th. It's going to be great. March 22nd, I put Problemista on here. It's coming to theaters. It's an A24 joint. Tilda Swinton. And I should have wrote down it is written, directed, and starring. I'm going to look up the gentleman's name. Problemista, because he deserves a little bit of credit for Julio Torres. So he's writing, directing, and starring in this comedy with Tilda Swinton and the RZA. He's a El Salvadorian immigrant to New York, to America, who wants to get a job as a toy maker, so that he doesn't have to go back, so that he doesn't get deported. He somehow hooks up with Tilda Swinton, who's like this art director who also might be the devil or something. There's definitely some dark aspects to Tilda Swinton.
She's Problemista.
Yes.
I noticed those aspects in the trailer, and I don't know if those are all in the main character's kind of head. Because I thought that I was like, oh, is this like a Renfield kind of thing? Like he's going to be the assistant to this like she-devil woman, like literally, like.
They even make there is a line now. I didn't catch any of that watching it, but there is a line like your boss is the devil. Like somebody says that.
Yeah, I think because there is like that fairy. The trailer opens with like a fairy tale, like the mother protecting her child in this fairy tale kingdom until he goes into a cave and it's real life. Like he walks out of his shitty apartment in New York City or something like that. And I think that's a lot of the Julio Torres was his.
Yes,
I think that's a lot of his flair and stuff just popping out. I think because there's a lot of weird. You used psychedelic earlier, Eric, kind of stuff going on, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be real.
Yeah, what's real and what's not. That's what drew me to it. I thought it looked cool. I love Tilda Swinton. I think she's just the best. Problemista coming to theaters March 22nd. A24 does not really miss, so I don't think they'll miss on this one either.
Big A24 month, huge Apple month, man.
Huge Apple
stuff.
True that. Dragon's Dogma 2 coming to the current gen PC, PS5, and Xbox Series March 22nd. Drafted by none other than Mike. They've done really cool little character vignettes on YouTube. You can find them where they just for like 1 minute they kind of show you the different. They're not called jobs. They're called like vocations.
Classes.
I think that is what they're called. But yeah, they're your character classes, your jobs, whatever else. Your sorcerer, your warrior, your archer. It seems like depending on how you like choose to play, like what class you choose or vocation, it plays like way different. Like they showed like the archer is like a super fast character jumping around. Doing just like insane. Like it seems like such a I don't know. It has the aesthetics of like a Souls game. In a lot of it's like armor and enemies and stuff like that. But then looking at that archer, it's like, man, they're like jumping on top of creatures, jumping off of them, shooting arrows. Like there's a lot of action and a lot of like stuff going on. The magic, the sorcerer looked really interesting. There was even a scene where there were like, I guess 2 people that were both sorcerers, and they were somehow able to like cast the same spell and then combine the 2 spells to make a larger spell.
Magica, baby.
Yeah, it felt like that a little bit. So I don't know. This looks really cool. Like it's not a world I know or anything, but it just looked that sold me even more on it. Seeing those little vignettes.
I think it looks great. I hope it does well. Of course, it was my number 1 pick. Hopefully I'm done with I'm not going to be done with Final Fantasy by the time this comes out, probably, but I definitely want to pick it up. Are you guys? You think you're going to pick it up? Or
I think so.
Wait for how it does, or
what do you think, Kayla? I think it looks great.
Cool. I'd check it out, but I'm of the same mind of you, or we probably won't be ready at that time.
Right? Yeah. I started up Dark Arisen, the kind of re-release of Dragon's Dogma, the first one, and started out like I was digging it. It is definitely more of an arcadey feel than Dark Souls. It is not rigid as Souls, but the kids kind of took over, wanted to play. You can in that first one, you can pick up any NPC, just pick them up.
Okay.
And there's a lot of hills and mountain cliffs and things in the starting area of Dragon's Dogma, and the boys just loved throwing every person from this town off of the cliffs. They loved that. So I never got to really jump back into that one after they destroyed all the NPCs in the town.
Hilarious. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I think that was a good pick for you. I think at least like we don't have to get it day one. I don't know that it's going to be something that it's going to get spoiled or something like that. Maybe even a game that could use a couple patches. The performance, I mean, in a trailer, I don't know what to take from that, but it looked a little shoddy, just a little bit.
Oh, really? Yeah. Dragon's Dogma 1 was not like a graphical powerhouse when it came out. It was really focused on mechanics and stuff like that. And it had this pawn system, I think, where you could heavily customize a supporting kind of character. And then if you played online, your pawn would just go help out like people on your friends list, I think, that would play Dragons, that kind of thing. And people really like that idea of like swapping pawns and trading them and stuff like that. And, I'm sure this game has some beefed up form of that.
It looks like it does. Like every scene that they showed in the little class thing was like the class, but two other people with them, like two other, I guess, probably pawns or whatever, also helping them fight big monsters and stuff like that. So it seems like that's gonna matter from like maybe building a party, like, oh, I'm an archer and the pawns are a sorcerer and a warrior or whatever, that kind of thing, to like balance it out. It seems like that might be a mechanic. Looks great.
It does.
Yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2, March 22nd. Princess Peach Showtime, coming to the Switch, same day, March 22nd. They've revealed a handful more of her transformations, different vocations she can have. And yeah, and I think I'm sold more on this game the more I see of it. It seems like each different costume is going to matter, like in terms of what you're going to be doing. Like the environment is changing and you use that costume to benefit you in the environment, and like the mechanics are always changing, it seems. Like they showed off a couple, it was the ice skater, figure skater Peach,
Detective Peach,
yeah, the Little Mermaid Peach, and in each kind of section, it seemed like the mechanics were completely different. The enemies you're facing are kind of completely different. The environments, like how you're even traversing, like more vertical versus underwater versus like, more left to right side scrolling. Seems like they're really, mixing it up. But I think at very least it'll be a great game for kids. It seems like pretty like accessible.
It seems like they are trying to mark, this is not for us. This is for, a young girl to walk by, or a boy, whatever, to see like, oh man, that looks cool, and their first platformer or something like that.
Yeah. It is a game still. Like it's not just a slap of paint on to get attention. Like it does seem like it's actually going to be challenging. Like it looks hard to me. I'm not a good platformer, and I think like It looks challenging.
Yeah, it's not one of those Barbie games from 20 years ago or whatever.
Right.
It looks like it's just going to be a mixed bag because there's fun platforming stuff like the ice skating stuff. Like, oh, they already figured that out in 3D World, how to do like ice skating and combat mixed with platforming. But like the rhythm mermaid stuff and the stealth detective stuff, I don't know about that. But where she's like kicking ass as like a kung fu person or a fencer, I think she has like a fencing costume or something like that. I think it's going to be. I'm eager to see how many times you're redoing these things, like how many times you're using these disguises and stuff. Like in Kirby, you use the same kind of power ups over and over and over again, and eventually they level up and change. But I don't know if this game can pull that off yet.
Well, we will see on March 22nd when Princess Peach Showtime hits the Switch. Same day, March 22nd, we get Rise of the Ronin, PS5 exclusive for this one. This game looks really, really cool in a lot of ways. This is like a late Japan, like past the feudal period, more of like the integration with the West kind of period of Japan's history. Where there's gunpowder and all of the more modern kind of things are coming to Japan, but you're a Ronin, a samurai, and it looks like in some parts it really looks like a Ghost of Tsushima or Sekiro, which two games I really kind of loved in similar genre, but then. This is from which team is this one? Who's
Team Ninja?
Team Ninja, right? I think some of their like over the top combat is kind of getting in here because in the most recent trailer we were watching, you're just fighting another guy, just some other samurai, not some crazy wild beast or anything else, and they're showing off like the combo system that's in this game where you can like shoot a guy with a rifle, run up to him, like kind of air juggle him, stab him a bunch of times with your katana, and then like finish him on the ground. Like it looked like super over the top, some like Ninja Gaiden kind of stuff, and it looked a little out of place for me. I was a little like, I don't know if it's because it feels like this, like a game that's somewhat about like realism, like maybe the realistic, samurai fighting, but then maybe not at the same time. So
this could have been called Neo 3 because this is the team that made Neo. Their kind of take on Souls, mixing, like you said, like Ninja Gaiden combat with that kind of punishing, Souls gameplay, basically. And I didn't play Neo 2, but I know it had a lot of fans. Neo 1 I thought was really good. I finished that one, and it has a lot of, the fighting system was there's a lot of depth to it, a lot of changing stances and things like that. Many different weapon classes to pick from, like crazy amount. 2 even had even more. And I'm assuming they're just kind of putting like this is more open world-ish, open zone.
Seems like it, yeah.
Where Neo was like mission based, like you went to a specific level, and then you beat a boss at the end, and then you moved on. So, I think they could pull some off pretty cool. Maybe not an exact FromSoft level of game, but something pretty close.
I like how it looks. I will say that. I think it looks pretty. Yeah. They've showing like you get a glider, so you get to fly. There's verticality. You can get up on buildings and attack from above. And but it's interesting when you mention Neo with having a ton of weapon classes and stances and stuff. I think this is definitely an offshoot of that because they showed, it seems like every weapon you have can have 3 different stances. Like you can swap, which is interesting.
Trust me, I got through Neo 1 without really messing with any of that. So
what I wanted to ask. Like, are any of these games that I can play? Because I enjoyed watching like Sekiro, and whichever. What other one did you play, Eric? You just mentioned it.
Oh,
I've
Ghost
never
of
played
Tsushima.
Neo. Ghost of Tsushima. I liked watching those, but they seemed really challenging for me. Like Dark Souls are really challenging for me.
I think you could have done Tsushima, definitely.
Yeah, that's probably the one to go with. Neo could be pretty tough.
How this one will feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it looked like they that it's hard. The enemies take a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you get it is that kind of soul stuff where even the first skeleton you encounter can whip your ass if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
Me too. This seems to be like the game Sony has,
right.
Post Helldivers, of course, but see how it does.
Rise of the Ronin coming to PS5 only, March 22nd. Pepper Grinder coming to Switch and PC March 28th. This was a Ryan draft pick, and I counterpicked it because I had no idea what it was. Might not have been too smart on my part because this looks kind of cool.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, how would you describe this, Mike?
It has like a drill dozer kind of thing going on, Mr. Driller, those games. But it's not, those games had like a puzzle aspect to it. This is much more of a, kind of remind me of like Super Meat Boy, really just playing fast. You drill in and out of the ground like you're swimming, like Echo the Dolphin kind of stuff. You're, going in and out of the ground. I've heard it referred to like the swimming in Rayman Legends, which was felt really good. And this game looks like it feels really good and it's really fun. And I want to check it out for sure. It just looks up my alley.
Yeah, it did look pretty cool. I don't love the art style, but maybe it looks better on PC. I think I was seeing it on the Switch when I was watching as part of like the Direct. So, but it seems fast. Like it seems like super fast.
Super fast.
I don't know if the Switch can handle it, but no, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be pretty decent. It looks pretty good. Ryan might have had something in. Yeah, Pepper Grinder coming to Switch and PC March 28th. Is it a mouse? Are you a mouse in that game? Is that the character? Or?
Oh, I don't think so. I thought you played as like a girl.
No, a little girl.
I thought you played as like a little girl.
See, I couldn't even tell. See, that's how rough it looked. Okay, Pepper Grinder, Switch and PC.
Yep, you're just a girl with a cool drill. Yep.
So a mouse, right? You're right. You get it, right. March 29th, we get Ghostbusters Frozen Empire coming in theaters. This is the sequel to Ghostbusters Legacy. What was the last one called?
Oh. Something Empire? What is this one Empire?
This one's Frozen Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was the other one was Flawed Empire. Right. That was, I remember. Yeah, it was Liquid Empire, and this is Frozen Empire. The sequel to that pretty okay Ghostbusters movie. Afterlife. There you go.
We were close.
We were right there. We were gonna get there, and you looked it up. You shouldn't have looked it up. We were gonna get there.
I got there on my own.
Did you got there?
On my own. Yeah.
Oh wow. I thought.
Oh, very nice. I looked it up.
Yeah. You could have
I took a minute
years.
To think.
I wouldn't have
said it pretty much at the same time, but it came to me.
We all liked Afterlife, right? For the most part.
I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was a great way to introduce the kids to Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And I think Paul Rudd's just great, and he's great in that trailer. I love Carrie Coon. I love all the tech and just seeing the fucking lasers and the beam. Like, I don't know. I just think it's neat.
Yeah. I agree. This is one of those like nostalgic, cash grabby kind of series that I think is getting it right, maybe in the way a lot are not. And
hey, they've tried and failed before themselves.
True. Yeah, and that other Ghostbusters movie gets too much hate. I think that one is perfect.
Sure, I didn't hate it, but this is better.
Well, I think what people really hate was leaning on the old stuff, and really like this one seems like it's really like another kind of team up movie. You know, if you know what I mean. And this, get ready because the pitchforks are out for this one too, I'm sure. But I don't know. I'm just gonna. The kids are excited. We're probably gonna see it opening night.
Awesome.
And I hope it's good. If it's as good as that first one, I will be happy.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
It's awesome.
Give me some more podcast. The best character. You know?
Right. God, I forgot about that. In the age where every character in a thing had to have a podcast. Good stuff. Including the Godzilla movies, right? Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. So we've had the Frozen Empire, and this is the new Empire. Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire, coming to theaters March 29th as well. How many empires on one day can you have? This looks wild. This looks like a lot of stuff. From Skull Island, a movie that like I feel it feels so far away. I love that Skull Island movie.
It was far away.
Yeah,
it's like 10 years ago. God.
To think that movie and this are in the same like a one continual kind of story, it just kind of blows my mind, I think. Like
yes.
Who's me and Kayla were trying to figure out, is the big bad in this one the skinny Kong, or is there like another being?
Like a red Kong?
Yeah, red.
Yeah.
There's not another. Is there another one?
Like a third party bad
It shows
guy?
like there's a lot of hands coming out of a giant crater, and some of them are like robotic. So it's like, okay, is it Mecha Kong? Is it gonna be, does Kong just have robot fists now or something? I don't know. These movies stink, guys. They are stinky poo poo doo doo. They're not good. None of the Godzilla's new ones were good. None of them. Not even that Bryan Cranston one. I know everyone likes it so much, but it's not good. It's so dumb and bad. There is Skull Island, and that is it. The rest of these movies need to go away.
But that first Godzilla had Oscar nominee Ken Watanabe in it.
Let them fight. That quote is the only good thing.
Godzilla X Kong. What's there more to say? The new Empire, starting a whole new Empire, coming to theaters March 29th. And I'll just say it right now. That's my pick for my pick to click here in March. For March, what are we most excited about? I'm picking Love Lies Bleeding. I want that.
Oh, not Dune.
Not Dune. No, I think Dune probably has the highest. Like, there's probably no chance I'm gonna dislike Dune. There is a chance I might not like Love Lies Bleeding. It's like a high risk maneuver, is what I'm going at. I feel like there's a chance that I just love Love Lies Bleeding. And I'm gonna take that chance.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that is the best thing. But
yeah, me too.
We'll
just have that's it.
Boom. I don't
know.
It underlined and italicize it, and boom.
Yeah.
I just feel like this month is just going to be Final Fantasy, so it's hard for me to even think of like what, like, especially game wise, trying to get into any of this stuff. But I am very excited for Dragon's Dogma, and but yeah, Love Lies Bleeding just looks like my jam and looks great.
I am excited for Dune. I want to check that out too.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Dune, and I think it's going to be weird and awesome, and Villeneuve just doesn't miss. And yeah, Dune. I think Tune's gonna rock as well.
Duncan, Idaho. That's
Duncan, Idaho.
Oh, so good. I don't know if I have that recorded of you saying that, but I need to clip that out. All right, March 2024, bigger than we thought it was. 21 was our total list there. We love Dune Part 2, Love Lies Bleeding, and Dragon's Dogma 2. Those are our picks for March 2024. And that's it. That is episode 160 of the Machine of Nonsense. We covered everything in March. If you would like to join the conversation about March and everything coming to your screens, drop us a line, machineofnonsense@gmail.com or at the Machine of Nonsense on all social media. I'm going to create a Blue Sky account for us. How about that? I'll do that next.
What's that?
Kayla doesn't even know Blue Sky. It's so...
What is
It's a new Twitter.
Yeah, I've never had a Twitter either.
Right. I don't know. I still prefer Twitter so far, but
me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, it hasn't hit yet. Stanley Tucci never liked one of my tweets on Blue Sky, but he has on Twitter. So,
whoa,
yeah,
Tooch,
the Tooch.
Holy shit!
It's too esoteric of a tweet to like describe it on this pod, but I've got the receipts. I can show if anyone doesn't believe it. I have been liked by the Tooch.
Wow.
Yes.
Anyway, God among men.
Yeah, you know what can I say? I'm big with the Tooch. So that's March, and that's episode 160 of the Machine of Nonsense. We are getting out of here, and we're saying Duncan, Idaho. Goodbye.
Idaloha.